when you think of superhero movies, what's the first one that comes to your mind? Maybe it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, or The Dark Knight, or Suicide Squad.
So that's it? What, we some kind of...
But when it comes to superhero movies, to me, the first one that comes to mind is a legendary movie called Sky High. And contrary to popular belief, this movie was in fact not a DCOM. It was actually in theaters, and it's just a straight Disney movie, which was a surprise to me because I always assumed it was a DCOM. But this movie does something that I like a lot, is spoofing on cliches about superheroes. And not only that, but also spoofing on cliches of high school drama movies. It definitely takes itself seriously, but at the same time it realizes how ridiculous some of the things are. Alright, so let's boot up the old DVD player and let's watch this bad boy. Oh boy. I love Sky High. So the movie starts out with a generic comic book superhero intro, and we find out that the main character, Will, is the son of the legendary two superheroes, Jetstream and the Commander.
Don't get me wrong, it can be cool to have superhero parents. Like when mom picks up awesome takeout on her way home from work.
Sure, obviously you could do something like that with your car, but you can't do it from Italy. I mean, sure, Jetstream, it doesn't matter how fast she is, getting pizza from Italy and flying it all the way back to America, that pizza is going to be rock solid cold. But it's the thought that counts. But then we find out that Will's a pussy? He's weak? Wow, what is that, like 180? Yeah, I probably couldn't lift that either. Oh, he doesn't have powers. That's what this part's about.
Will! 200!
Oh, hey Dad, just trying to get a few sets in before school.
And also somehow his parents are just completely oblivious to the fact that he doesn't have superpowers. I mean, sure, his parents are probably extremely neglectful on account of the fact that they're the two of the biggest superheroes in the world, and also two of the biggest realtors in the area. But you think his dad would at least try to train him, or like test his powers or something like that. So basically what I'm trying to say here, his parents suck. So his dad has a little talkie with him and basically says, I'm okay with dying because I know one day you'll save the world too. But his dad still doesn't know that he doesn't have powers yet. Oh, what a twist. Now we get to meet best friend Layla, who is an overbearing vegan feminist type girl, which there's nothing wrong with being a feminist or vegan, but boy, every time she's on screen, they just really drive home the fact that she is that.
I noticed you had some recyclables in the trash. I took the liberty of moving them for you. You know how my mom can communicate with animals? Apparently they don't like being eaten.
But she's that girl who's stuck in the friend zone with the main character, and he won't notice until it's too late kind of thing. There's a little bit of romance incoming.
Good morning, Commander.
Commander? Huh. Thanks, Layla.
So here are the self-aware tropes that I was talking about earlier. The fact that Layla points out that she knows that he's the commander by the sole reason that he's not wearing his glasses, that's just a good nod to most superhero movies, because let's be real, a lot of the quote-unquote disguises don't really make much sense how they're not found out. Hey man, I just got these new glasses. I wanted to see what you thought about them. Oh sure man, put them on, let me see what you think. Ah! Oh, who are you? Who is that? What? Why are you in my house? Oh gosh. Do you not like my glasses? Oh no, dude, I love your glasses. I think they look great on you. Okay, good. I was just worried because... Ah! Oh god, who is this? Who is this man? Get him out of my house! Oh! Dude, welcome back. How are you doing? So Will Stronghold is off to his first day in super duper high school, and then we meet the best character of the film, Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Liter of cola?
Will Stronghold.
Everyone, it's liter of cola.
And then right off the bat, Will notices the extreme favoritism, obviously because his parents are the best superheroes. So they pick up the last kid and head off to school. And then they all died.
We're going off-road.
So they fly up to Sky High because the school is in the sky. I would dare to say really high in the sky. Sky high. Just a quick question. What happens when they fall off?
Yeah, people are gonna die.
Don't trip on anything.
It's just terrible, but like,
Inevitable?
Yes, Sky High, a school that apparently doesn't have a cheer squad, so one girl took it upon herself to be the whole cheer squad. Who does that? You have a shadow clone jutsu and the first thing you want to do is make a cheer squad of yourself? Gosh, I already hate these kids.
I know I have. I've just had the
Will,
greatest
stop
experience,
it.
the greatest-
Put your gosh darn boner away, child. So every person that goes to Sky High goes through this really messed up selection process where they basically decide if you're a hero or a sidekick based on your powers, not how you use them or how you can improve your powers, but they literally just decide the moment you get there. It's like if you go to high school on your first day and they give you a test, and if you don't do good, then you just don't get to go to college. Like, it didn't make any sense.
My name is Coach Boomer.
Oh, yeah. Boomer sneaking around.
Are we clear?
So they take a break from the selection process and go to lunch, and then Will is the first one up by the time that they get back. And then we meet the infamous Warren Peace, whose dad was put in jail by Will's dad. So obviously he's angy wangy and wants to beat Will up.
Oh, I got it. You're messing with the coach. Just like your old man. Gar.
So then Will dies.
Are you insane?
Oh, wait.
I don't have super strength.
Never mind, he's okay.
You're a flyer, just like your ma. Why don't you say so?
Oh, now he's dead. So he goes to the school nurse, and the school nurse talks to him about how some people who have 2 super parents never get their powers.
There are? Like who?
Well, I know of only one. Ron Wilson, bus driver. There he is.
This is why I love the character so much. 0 powers, just straight passion. He wants to help people and he wants to be a part of the hero organization. So he drives a gosh darn bus to school every day just because he wants to be a part of it. You ever think Midoriya is someone who never got superpowers? He would cry and give up. He'd be a little pussy. He's like, no, I'm done. I'm going to go cry and go home. No, the bus driver, he's the man, all right? So Will goes home and talks to his dad, but his dad, you know, obviously being the egotistical man that he is, just assumes that Will's the best hero in the game, all right? And so he takes him to his secret sanctum.
Oh, Will, one thing. Of course, you must never, ever bring anyone into the secret sanctum. That's why it's called the secret sanctum.
I would never.
But Will attempts to tell his dad that he doesn't have powers, but then his dad did the whole, I'm so proud of you, boy. You're gonna make the family proud. And then obviously Will, feeling guilty, he doesn't tell his dad. But whoa, it looks like the piece that the commander took off the robot that he defeated in the beginning of the movie actually is a video camera that is casting to the villain of the movie. Then comes one of my favorite scenes, the hero support class scene. And the reason I find this so hilarious is how they just portray sidekicks to be just the most useless pieces of shit around.
Without hero support, well, there wouldn't be any heroes. All right, there probably would be heroes, but they would be very lonely.
I didn't know you worked for the commander.
I worked with the commander. You Steve's son?
Yeah.
And he never mentioned me to you.
I don't think so.
The commander does not have time to sit around flipping through scrapbooks that I took the time to make for him.
Instead of teaching them how to use their powers or how to use them more efficiently or specific ways they can use them, they teach them useless things like how to shoot a net out of a little belt or how to change into their superhero outfit fast. So then we cut to Will at his house studying with his sidekick friends. Then his dad comes home, and then his dad proceeds to talk shit on the sidekick's powers.
Well, they have really lowered the bar some for superheroes at that school since I went there.
Because obviously his dad in his own magical world just assumes that Will is a part of the heroes and those are also heroes. Then Will finally spills the beans to his dad.
Dad, I'm a sidekick, okay? I washed out of power placement.
And tells his dad how much of an asshole he truly is to quote-unquote hero support. Because obviously after seeing how heroes treat sidekicks and the fucked up school system and everything that's going bad about Sky High, it's pretty obvious that his dad's not, you know, a cool guy.
Welcome to Sky High.
Come on, Ron.
All right, you're the sidekick. Give his hat back.
Wow. Those guys kind of suck. Daddy Issues is now extremely angry because Will gets tripped and then drops all of his lunch food on top of him.
Whoa!
So his superpower is being really bad at aiming fireballs. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. How are his clothes still intact?
Leave them alone!
Wow, it looks like Will is strong holding that table. So yeah, he has super strength now.
Think I can't take a hit?
He just launched you through 3 walls and hit you into a concrete pillar. You should be dead. So they both get in trouble and get put in detention, which the detention room neutralizes all powers, which is a giant thing because what if a bad guy got hold of that? GG. Like, you can't win after that. I don't know. That just seems like such a weird technology that could easily be taken advantage of. So now after Will showed off his powers, he gets transferred to the hero classes, which is a little sad moment because obviously he can't hang out with his friends anymore. Because now he's popular. But it's okay because he gets to work with the psychopath. Technopath. She's a psychopath.
You know, I can totally help you out with all this science stuff.
Come on, Will. You don't know what you're doing.
I could be like your private tutor.
You're just a boy.
Cool.
Stop! But then Will starts to realize that he's with the cool crowd now.
Sorry, awful. No offense, Will. We're not running a loser outreach program, okay?
Make up for the popular kids being dicks to the sidekicks, Will goes and asks Layla on a date. Important information for later. Then Will finally stands up for his friends, or I guess his friends stood up for themselves for him.
Please, Will will totally take you. Hey, you saw what happened to Warren? You want a piece of that?
Anyway, he challenges the 2 bullies to a game of Save the Citizen. Villains have to keep the heroes from saving the citizen from getting massacred by a bunch of spinning blades, and the heroes just have to save the citizen. Pretty simple. But the big problem here is that they get to pick his partner, which doesn't make sense to me. And they pick Warren Peace, obviously the bad dude.
Remember when we used to use real citizens?
Yes. Yes. Of course. Kill the children. But Will is faced with a dilemma. Save the citizen and make sure the sidekicks never get bullied again, or save Warren's life and save his life. You're all idiots. He's the main character. He gets to choose both. Yeah, Will saves Warren and then wins the game. Everybody's happy, cheery. Oh, Will! Will, oh God, you're so hot. So Will goes home, hyped up about being the coolest kid in school. And on top of all of that, the Technopath comes to his house to help him study. It's boner time, baby. What about your date with your lifelong best friend? Yes! He forgot. So he has a little stinky wink slap with the Technopath. He then asks his parents to come to the homecoming to accept the Hero of the Year award. And all the while, his best friend is just chilling by herself, all alone. Hey, wait, there's Warren Peace.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, all right, screw it. I'm Team Warren. But to be honest, this scene kind of confuses me because they give me a lot of whiplash with this character because they portray him as this giant asshole and he acts like a giant asshole at school. Literally wants to kill Will every time he sees him, yet for some reason he's being extremely nice to Will's best friend. He starts off by saying that everyone can tell that she's in love with Will, gives her advice, and even helps her get Will interested in her. It just seems so out of character. Don't get me wrong, I think Warren is a good character and I like him. It's just the big change, the whiplash. So Will walks her home and asks her to homecoming, or actually the psychopath asks him for him to ask her to homecoming. I'll be honest, every single one of these scenes where it cuts to the bad guy with the creepy sidekick and then the bad guy chokes the dude, it's funny. I still think it's funny. And it's a major plus that the voice actor for the hidden bad guy is Patrick Warburton. Peter, I'm a bad guy. Beat her. I want to kill the strongholds. Beat her. So Layla, who finally has gotten the courage to tell Will she completely forgave him of standing her up all night. All she wants to do is tell Will how she feels.
Homecoming.
Really? Me too.
I'm going with Gwen Grayson. Can you believe it?
Will, you idiots! Will's the worst character in the movie. But since she did mention that she had news for Will, Will kept pushing her to tell her what the news was, so then she made up a story that she's going to homecoming with Warren Peace. Which honestly, hell yeah. Fuck Will. Will sucks. But then the cracks start forming when it comes to Gwen. First, she manipulates Will's rock-hard boner and forces him to throw a party.
I was just hoping we could spend a little more time together.
If it's only a few people.
Super.
Just an all-around bad influence.
I wish there was somewhere we could go to be alone.
Oh, Will, you know fully well that there is not a place in your house that is not full of rowdy teenagers wanting to touch skin flaps.
You must never, ever bring anyone into the secret sanctum.
Will, you son of a bitch. 2, Will takes her to the sanctum. 3, someone just yoinks the pacifier, one of the most notorious evil villain weapons around. And 4, on top of everything, she goes up to Layla and straight doms her, dude. She talks so much garbo.
I had to tell you he's not interested. Not that you can take a hint. I mean, hello? He's going to homecoming with me. You two deserve each other.
Finally, after this entire time, wises up and notices that she said something mean to Layla, and then he dumps the bitch.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's get something straight, okay? You do not dump me. Not the night before the dance.
Sorry, Gwen. I just did.
Finally, after all this time, Will realizes that you're not supposed to decide your relationships with your cock. So Will's parents crash the party. But Will, distraught, filled with penis emotions, he goes to his room in a fit of rage. He attempts to call Layla many times and then tells her to meet him at the paper lantern, and then it gets even stranger. Will, the person that Warren wants to kill more than anybody in the world, literally every time he lays eyes on him, he just bloodlust. He wants him dead. But for some reason, in this magical restaurant, he's just the nicest dude in the world.
Well, that sucks. Because we're only going together to make you jealous. You're so stupid. She's totally into you.
It didn't make no sense. I mean, sure, Will did technically save his life, but even at that moment, you could tell that Warren, he still wasn't having it. There was no, like, development to this point. But still, regardless of all of this, I still like Warren as a character. So his parents head off to the homecoming, and his mom hands Will a yearbook that his dad tried to sneak to the homecoming to, like, reminisce about their past. But then we get a little plot hole here that doesn't make too much sense. So Will starts flipping through the old yearbook and sees Sue Tenney.
That's weird.
Someone we've already talked about earlier in the movie.
She was a weird one.
Oh, yes. No one ever really knew. Some say she was recruiting villains at the school. Others say she was smoking in the girls' room.
And for some reason, just now, he is starting to realize the similarities between Sue Tenney and Gwen. And then he flips to a page of her literally holding the pacifier. And here's where it's stupid, because his parents literally said they don't know what happened to her, and they also don't know who Royal Pain is. Yet the pacifier, Royal Pain's weapon, is literally in the yearbook, and it shows that she made it. How did his parents not put 2 and 2 together? It doesn't make any sense. So then he realizes that Sue Tenney is actually Gwen's mom.
To mark this occasion, we planned a special tribute to the most powerful super being ever to walk the halls of Sky High.
Me!
Okay, so I guess no one noticed the 2 giant signs that say Royal Pain behind the curtain. Just gonna let that one go? Okay, that's fine. Oh no, the commander's been turned into a baby. Better fly straight toward that gun that turned my husband into a baby. Oh no, now Jetstream's a baby. Oh. So Royal Pain goes on a rampage and turns a bunch of people into babies. Yes, everybody. A school full of superpowered students and teachers and not one of them could stop her. It's not like Royal Pain was using any of her powers. She's just shooting a gun. Like, just stop her. Come on. And it turns out that the two bullies and the cheerleader were both villains. Thank God. I hate them all. Is that really necessary? Couldn't he just have pulled it out? Then comes the final battle. Sidekicks versus Royal Pain, where it shows that you don't need amazing powers to use them good. Like this, for example, they walk through the vent and finally his powers of glowing have a purpose. Will meets up with all of his friends and has a little goopy doopy. I was a jerk. I'm a bad hero. I should use my powers for good and not for bad. So the kid who melts beats the stretchy boy by drowning him to death. If his head's stuck in there, like, he ain't getting out. Like, that kid's dead. We find out Royal Pain's plan, which is actually kind of good.
To start her very own supervillain academy and raise a generation of heroes from scratch as villains.
Which at the same time doesn't make too much sense because the principal at Sky High literally said, we raise you to just use your powers, but you could use them however you want. She literally said you could be a villain if you want. Like, there's no bias in the high school. And then the twist! The twist! Oh.
When the pacifier exploded, I wasn't destroyed. I was merely turned into a baby. Royal Pain wasn't my mother. Royal Pain is me!
I mean, I was an old lady.
So after Layla kicks some ass... The cheerleader tells Layla that Royal Pain sabotaged the anti-gravity device and they're going to fall to their death if they don't hurry up. So then Will dies.
Surprise?
Oh, he can fly now. There's that.
There's only one person authorized to transport superheroes. And that's Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Get him, Ron Wilson. Get him, boy.
The school is falling!
I mean, is the school falling? I don't think that's how physics work. I don't think if you're falling, you go closer to the ground. I think that's if you're going up. So Magenta turned into a gerbil and chewed the cable. Will ends up pushing him back up to the top. Will saves the day. Then Big Brain Baby made a anti-pacifier gun and turned everyone back into adults.
Regrettably, I have made Boom Boom.
And then all the sidekicks get called heroes by the commander, and even Ron Wilson, bus driver, gets called a hero, and then everyone lives happily ever after. Except the psychopath.
I went through puberty twice for this.
So still to this day, I find this movie genuinely entertaining. It has a lot of good things about it, and honestly, I still think it's a good gem. It's a nice combination of mocking superhero movies while also being a okay, decent superhero movie. If I had to give it a rating, I'd give it 3 to 5. 3 to 5. I think it's a good rating.
Yo, thank you everyone for watching this video. Make sure to look at my socials, my Instagram, my Twitter, my Twitch. Just make sure you check it all out. I got a bunch of good stuff coming. Thank you so much for watching this. Make sure to subscribe and tell your parents about me.